Welcome. Today we are on beautiful Lake Waconia. This lake is near and dear to my heart because it's where my family makes our home. Today I'm going to tell you everything about it. So let's get started. So the furthest west of the downtown area is this little area that we have over here. You see this shared dock over here? Now you can't boat against it. You can't do anything like that, but you can walk from downtown, and there's some tennis courts, there's some people who rent paddle boards, or you can fish off the dock, you can do whatever. It's a really nice little space right there. As we kind of stretch into downtown, there's a variety of different types of home offerings in here. They don't come for sale very often. The last one was kind of on the further west end here. But when they do, you really got to put your eyes on to look about the value and the location in the house, because there's a lot of dated homes here that were really cool when they were built, but they definitely don't match the configuration that people are looking for in new houses today. But they can be really special. So here we have the Marina. It's right downtown, straight shot to all the shops and boutiques. You can park your boat here, but you better get on the waiting list now because it's long to get a slip here. And it's also going to be the main hub on and off the lake in the wintertime to ice fish on this side of the lake. You can also rent pontoons and stuff like that here. One of the biggest benefits of Lake Waconia is that besides Lake Minnetonka, it's one of the only smaller lakes in the metro area that has a restaurant right on it that you can drive right into. So Lola's Lake House right here, drive up, grab some lunch, dinner. It's awesome. Another benefit to Lola's is that you can park your boat here, but get on that list because that's super long too. One of the coolest features on Lake Waconia is Coney Island, right? It's got really cool history. It was a resort from 1880s to the 1960s, had its heyday in the 1920s, so there's a bunch of ruins out there. But it also has the bonus of when it's windy out in Lake Waconia, people kind of track the different sides because there's always a side that's protected from the wind and nice and calm. But let's go check it out. Some fun trails out there. So you can see on the island here, you got picnic areas, you've got trails, you've got grass. There's even split firewood out here, left and done for you oftentimes, but there's grills, all sorts of stuff. Plus you can get the trails all throughout here. It's a really nice way to spend an afternoon. First neighborhood we're going to look at that has slips associated with them is Legacy Village over here. There's a dozen slips, and then Legacy Village back in here, there's 12 homes that have slip. There's also a private beach here for Legacy Village that you can use, but there's also a walking trail back to the main beach that we're about to go to. Let's go check it out. All right, so one of the biggest adds to Lake Waconia last year is the addition to this brand new separate boat launch. Okay, so there's a boat launch to the north side of the lake here, but it was notoriously overcrowded. People were parking off of Laketown Parkway, and it was just a complete mess. So they've added this, plus they've restructured new parking over here, and it flows right into this beach, which is just fantastic. So here we are at the beach. It's great. Run your boat into the sand and just hang out for the day. Like, what's better than that? Just past the beach to the north, the newest development on the lake is a cut-built neighborhood. So now there's 20 lakefront properties. These are detached townhome villas, and each one of them has its own private dock. Now there's several more non-lakefront properties past that, and they get to share a dock over here. Plus the community is going to include a community pontoon boat. Real quick while we're passing it, this is actually our family's favorite spot to park and to swim. There's a nice sandbar over here. We can drop the sea legs on the pontoon. It's quieter, it's protected from the wind, and you can touch your feet on the ground. So as opposed to wrapping around the island, that's where we really like to go. So 3 public boat launches. For the longest time, this was the main one. We're in the northeast corner, and you can find it by looking for these cliff edges. It's right next to that. But it's fully functional. Great parking, another place to launch your boat. So right behind me, this is the north end of the lake. What's cool about the north end of the lake is that it adds space for recreation, right? So that's where you can kiteboard, that's where you can wake skate, that's where you can jet ski. This is majorly where you find the benefit of a lake this size, because you have extra room for extra activities. So let's start by talking about fishing, because I know half of you, it's all you want to hear about is the fishing. I've been informed by my colleague that there's some really great fishing here. As far as my knowledge, I don't know any of it. I don't plan to know any about it, but I have shared a link below. Check it out. You can find all the intricacies of what Lake Waconia has to offer. So as we swing kind of around the south side of the lake here, we run into the terrace, or Lakeview Terrace. This little space here is really a neat little aspect of the lake, because it juts out into the lake, and you've got water on all the different sides of this. Plus you have extreme walkability to downtown still, right? You can still walk in right into town, but there's a whole bunch of different aspects all around the Lakeview Terrace here. You have the point right up here, which juts out. It's called Point Drive. And all these properties, they've got really great 180-degree views, but they're so close to the water table that you can't build basements. So they're still very valuable, but they're very limited to what you can build above grade and not below the grade. And then if you look into the inlet here, that's really great too, but it gets really weedy and it's super shallow. And you actually have some reeds towards the north end over there that you actually have to go through to get out to the lake. But those are really cost-effective ways to get onto Lake Waconia. So as you head further west, the elevation comes up, but you can still have sand beaches, all those types of things, but then you can start building basements, different homes. That's where most of the teardown and rebuilds have been happening right now. As you can see on the camera, there's 2 right now that are just being wrapped up. So we've come around the terrace here, and there's a pit stop that's worthy of 2 things here. Is that there's a hidden public access back in here that not many people know about. It typically stays pretty quiet. It gets used, but not a lot. But what this is a main hub to ice fishing in the wintertime. So people don't think about that. This turns into a main highway out here to this bigger space out here. They're gonna see 100 to 200 ice houses out here. And something to be mindful of if you're gonna be an ice fisherman, that's how you can get on. The second piece is that if you're gonna buy a home in this area, being mindful just because it's quiet and calm during the summertime doesn't mean that this doesn't turn into a highway and a massive parking lot during the winter. And when it's dark at 5 o'clock in the winter, there's headlights and stuff like that coming in and out of your houses all winter long, the whole time. So just know that that's coming. So this is Waconia Parkway, and you can find it around the lake, but this is primarily where to get the flat frontage into the lake. So you see the beaches down here. This is Waconia Parkway, and between these houses and the road back there is a nice acre buffer between that, and there's access to trails and parks and everything right into the city. It's really awesome. So more popular things than a lot of other lakes that aren't Waconia is that they have communities that have a shared beach access and kind of a day-to-day dock. Waconia is actually pretty light on that, and we only have one. So we're over here at the landings, and you can see this neighborhood. It's the southwest end of the lake here, but there's a big community back there, but they all share this beach here. And then there are, I believe, 6 homes that actually have slips so that they can actually park their boat there all the time. So the southwest end of the lake here, we've got a little rock shelf. Watch out for your boat in the early spring, because those buoys that are really nice telling you where not to go, they're not there, so you gotta watch out. That's where propellers go to die. And then we come over to the far west end of the lake over here. This is West Shoreline Drive. These also come, a lot of them come with 1 acre lots that come along with it. And then a little bit of a unique is this is actually into the township, so the taxes come down a little bit. Don't tell them about that though. So the elevations over here, you're gonna have a little bit, there are some flatter ones kind of around here, but you're gonna have steeper banks, which is not all bad because you get extra awesome views, but you may not have that sand beach that you just walk down into. So you may notice we're not on the boat anymore. North Shore Drive, I didn't forget you. I may have forgot you while we were on the boat, but you are unforgettable because North Shore Drive is amazing. It's got some of the best views. It's an amazing scenic drive here, and it also boasts lakefront properties that have 2 slices of lakefront. You have the lakefront where you can do all sorts of really great stuff, put your dock out, And then you have across the street, you've got really awesome plats for amazing homes. And an added bonus of North Shore Drive is that it butts up against the Dakota Trail, which is a main hub into all the biking trails throughout the metro and the surrounding areas. So you could literally bike to downtown Minneapolis if you wanted to, but you're probably just gonna bike to St. Bonnie Bistro. So there you have it, Lake Waconia in all its beauty. If you wanna know more, you know where to find me.